Hey Toltec, it's Dane. I'm going to be going over video um, that we're going to be posting soon. This is a After Effects tutorial showing you just some basic stuff on how to do some basic things that will make your video have a little bit of a flourish. So let's go ahead and dive right into it. The first thing I would recommend is this. This is called Animation Composer 3. You can find this at mrhorse.tv. Let me pull up the web page here for you. And we're going to do a Firefox. Okay. I'm going to throw that up on top. There we go. Okay, so let me resize this. I am working on a 21:9 monitor. So that's why you get the bars up at the top and the bottom because it's different ratios here. Okay. So Animation Composer 3, it is a free download, a free plugin for Adobe After Effects. It has a ton of free things, free stuff that will make your life easier. You can also buy packs if you want, but um, the starter pack is free and it makes your life a lot easier. There's one other plugin that I highly recommend, and that is called the FX Console from Video Copilot. Okay, so you saw, just Googled in FX Copilot or FX Console from Video Copilot. This is what it does is in here I can do control space and it pops up my effects panel. So I don't even have to have my effects and presets panel over here. I don't even need that anymore. So those are the two plugins I highly recommend having. Um, as far as other plugins, it's up to you. I don't use a lot. I did previously, but as I learned more about After Effects and how to actually make things do what I wanted them to, I use them less and less. So let's go ahead and get started here. Here's our footage. Drag it into our project here. Okay, so this is a video of Hank from Toltec fixing a MacBook Pro 2020 screen. So the first thing he did that he really liked is he put in an optical compensation. Okay, see how I just did that? Control space, typed in optical compensation. Now, if I did not have that preset, I could just go over here and do the same thing and type in optics compensation. There it is. Okay. So it's the exact same thing. It's just a way faster way to do it. We've already taken this to that, and that's how he liked it there. He wanted it to be a little bit bigger so we're not showing off so much crap around the area. So we're going to do that, and we're going to go ahead and lock that layer. And then, okay, so the first thing I want to do is put in a intro. So the intro, this is something just real quick I made from a template yesterday. Just a little logo sting. Easy peasy. Okay. And then what we're going to do is we're going to throw a transition here. Now I've got a bunch of transitions I like on the Animation Composer. Okay. So I'm going to go over to the Animation Composer. Let's go with starter presets. No, that's not motion presets. No, that's not what we want. Starter precomps, transitions. So this is stuff that I believe comes with the free starter pack. I'm not 100% certain on that because I have bought quite a few of their add-ons. I absolutely love them. They might make life just a whole lot easier. So, looking for one that I like. I don't really want a shape overlay. I'm kind of liking the zoom twisty thing here. Let's go with this one. Add sound. I don't really want sound. Yeah, let's add sound. You can always take it off later. Save your project first. Good call. What are we going to call this? We're just going to do new folder. Untitled. Great. Okay. Do a left. Do a right. I like the right better. No active composition. We do have an active composition. There we go. Okay. Now you can see this changes to different options, color distortions. You can come back and change this at any time. I'm going to go ahead and mount this over here on my right side because I use this all the time. And that's one of the reasons I got a 21-inch monitor, or a 21 by 9-inch monitor. It's actually, I believe, a 32. So we're going to cut here. See how this plays. And takes us right into our footage. Cool. I'm not sure I love the red. So let's take the red color distortion and make it, can we do this? Let's see what it looks like with white. I like the blue. Let's try this one more time. The blue makes it actually go yellow. That's not too bad. I don't mind that. Okay. And now we have the rest of our video. Okay. So I'm going to get started on some pieces here that I know he wanted me to do. This is a little too far up. Let's unlock this. Move it down just a little bit. Yeah, it's alright. He's going to get on later and tell me what he thinks and what he wants. Now, we did go over some things last night, so I kind of have an idea about a little bit about what he wants. So here, right here, he's talking about the screws, and he wants those screws highlighted. Okay, so we're going to do a basic circle shape. Now, here's honestly what I would do. Okay, I'd go back over to my animation composer because I know I've got some stuff over here that I can use. I've got shape elements, these little circles. Ba-dum. Perfect. That's exactly what I want. Okay, so I'm just going to add that in. That's going to put this giant circle here, and so now we need to change the color to, we wanted orange. We're going to go with that orange. Looks good for now. We're going to shrink it down. And he wants it on these screws here. So we're going to zoom in. That's Alt and mouse wheel to zoom in. He wants them a little bit smaller, highlighting the screws. We're going to duplicate this. Do a screw over here. Duplicate this. I think there's a screw here. Right here. Duplicate that. Screw over. It's probably right where his finger is, actually. Looks like it's over here. I'm going to put it over here. Okay, and I know he's got a couple more, so we're going to duplicate that. Duplicate is Control D. Move this down here. To pan, like I'm doing, I'm pressing spacebar to get my hand tool and then just dragging. Okay, Control D. And we get the last one over here. Okay. There we go. So now what we've got is all of these coming in at the same time. So he's going to go screws, there's our screws, and then they're going to come out. We want them to be a little bit longer here, so I'm going to take all of these, I'm going to stretch them out in the timeline. I'm actually going to go pretty far because I'm not sure how long we want them to go out. And then I'm going to take these out individually because you can't do them as a group, all the way over to the right. Line them up nice and pretty. Now what this is these are comments on the animation composer saying this is when your animation is going to come in. Let me deselect these, you can see it better. So you can see the circles coming in, and by the time it reaches this in, they're fully in, and they're going to stay there until we get to the out. So once we get to the out, they're going to start going out until the end of the clip. So if we go here, you're going to see them starting to go out, and by the end of the clip, they're gone. Okay, so that's how that works. Okay, now I personally don't love how this looks, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to just take this and I'm going to take it just a couple frames there. I want it to be like a little ripple effect. A couple frames there. A couple frames there. A couple frames there. A couple frames there. They look even-ish. We can clean it up here in a minute. So what that's going to do is going to go bum. Okay. And do that again. You can see it. So we'll start with this one and then give it a little zhuzh. Okay, now with all of these, select all of these, we're going to take our stroke width up. Okay, and you can see that made them just a little bit thicker there. And let's do, I like rounded caps. And height and width are fine. Stroke offset path, that's going to be where it starts from. So you can see it starts from the bottom here and goes up and around. That's what the stroke offset path will change that, but I like how this is looking right now. Something bum, and he starts unscrewing his screws. Boom. So now that is 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So once he's done with that, so as he's pulling that out, let's actually end that there. So now what we have is he's screwing, pulls it out, the circle goes away. Okay, which means the rest of these are going to want to go quite a bit longer. I know I pulled the wrong one over here. It's okay, I'll fix it. There we go. Boom, that's gone. Now, I know he wanted some sort of text. So we could do this a lot of different ways. Again, I'm going to go back to my animation composer, okay, because I know this has a lot of things that make my life a lot easier. Okay, so I'm going to go to Central Typography here. This is a extra pack that I have bought, and it does some really cool things. So what I'm going to be looking for is, we want, not quotes, I want callouts. Fill, callouts. Okay, so let's do this one. Okay, so the tail's going to come off on the right. So add that there. Caring mother. See right over here in my options, I can change this. He's going to want something like size F-15 fighter jet screw. I have no idea what kind of screw he actually wants, but what it's called, but I know that's he's gonna want some sort of screw information there. So we're gonna size this down quite a bit. And so we're gonna do this little call out right here. So here we go. He unscrews it, puts it down, and now we've got this little call out. That's there. Now these are all the same screws, so maybe maybe there's a different way to do that. Maybe we do a circle later on. I haven't watched the rest of the video. So let's go ahead and just keep on doing this. So far is pretty easy. Again, this animation composer, you can do all of these things by hand. Um, and in some cases you definitely can, but it would take me longer to do this by hand than it would to just pull this out from the animation composer. Now, this is not the case with um, all motion plugin packs. Some of them just are not good. They're not customizable. But the ones from Mr. Horse, I absolutely love. No, I'm not getting paid to promote his stuff. I just really like the products that he puts out, and have supported him all along the way. So do this screw. Pop comes out. That means, which screw is this? 1, 2, 3. That's this screw here. That means we're going to end here. So we're going to want to do our out about there. See how that looks. Unscrew. Pops it over. Okay, so this clearly, I think these are the same screws. So I'm going to extend this out on my timeline. Okay. And let's just keep on keeping on. I do have this at full resolution, which is why it's going a little bit slower. But that's okay. I honestly don't like to work too fast because I like to see kind of what's going on. I like to work in a little bit of a slow motion. So I can see, okay, right there, boom, he's done. So this is going to be 1, 2. It's going to be this one. We're going to be done right here. We're going to drag our out point all the way over. Okay, back it up. Let's see how it looks. He's unscrewing it. Places it in the pile with the fighter jets. And the first one's right there. So this is going to have to extend a bit. And bring her out all the way over here. Out. I can actually be a little bit faster. Do some fine tuning. Out. And we do this one out. So he speeds up the video here a little bit. This is going to be this is about the time where it's important to say name your layers. So we're going to go screw 1, screw 2, screw 3. I think that's screw 3. Circle, custom duration. Yep, that's screw 4. Call out title. So this actually I'm going to move away from the rest of my screws. So all my screws are in one place. Screw 6. Now you can go ahead and pre-compose these if you want. I'm going to leave them just as they are for now because it's not taking up too much of my resources to do so. I might do it later on. Okay. We've got screw 5, which is going to be down about right here. Extend it out. Bring our out point over. Go back, make sure it looks decent. Okay, and then we've got our screw 6, which is going to be about right there. And our out point to there. Okay, so we'll give this a playthrough. We've got all the screws. Let's do that just one more time. Look, we've got all the screws. Okay, these can actually move these this way just a bit and bring our ends, and we'll just do that. Yeah, there we go. I like that better. That was obviously not full speed, so let's try that one more time. Bump, screws, unscrews number 1, and it's done. This needs to come out just a little bit back like that. Bump, done. Done. See how it's not in real time right now. We're at 11 FPS out of the 30, so we're not in real time. That's okay with me. If I wanted faster, I could change my resolution here, but okay. Now you could see that our circles are kind of getting messed up when this twists. I'm not too worried about that. We're going for simple here. You could do all sorts of things like put a tracker on it and make the circles move with the tracker. Then you can rotoscope out his hands so his hands are above the circles. We're going for simple here. Okay. Super simple. So here's all of our F-15 fighter jet screws. So here, when this call out goes away, I actually do want it to go away, but I want something to pop up over here. It's going to say, hey, these are still fighter jet screws. I like this. You can see how the preview shows you exactly what's going to happen with all the animation. I really love that. We can always just do so here's the big difference. These essential typography things are all compositions. Now if I wanted to do something a little bit more simple, let's say I just want to put in some text. So let's do fighter jet screws. And I'm going to change this so I'm not going to really worry about it a whole bunch. I want this to be the same color as this orange here. Boom. I don't like Times New Roman whatsoever. My favorite font for a long time has been Montserrat. Montserrat, all sorts of things. Regular seems a little bit too... No, not quite. Let's try semi-bold. That's good. Let's go ahead and make this just a little bit smaller. And then I think we have, what, 6 of them? Times 6. We're going to go ahead and make this a different color. Contrast to orange is blue. I'm not going to do the exact opposites, but there we go. And then, so in the same thing, the same animation composer, in the starter presets, we have transition or effects text layer. Transition text layer, you've got different things. So let's animate characters. It can type up. I can do all sorts of funky stuff depending on what you want to do. I like this one. Let's go ahead and add this one. So we're selected on our text layer. We're going to animate in, which actually before that, I'm going to undo that. We don't want this text layer to come in until about right here. Okay, so you can see right now this text layer goes across the entire composition. Okay, so all I'm going to do is Alt, and left bracket. It's the one next to the P button on your keyboard, and that's going to trim it right here. Now, when I do in, it's going to say this is the beginning, and so it's going to come in from right there. Now I want one other little fancy doodad here, and I'm going to go to shape elements again. Let's see what kind of shape elements we have here. I'm going to give this more screen space because I just love this. We can do one of these. That would be fun because I kind of want it to stay. I was going to do a circle. I want something more with a little bit more permanent. So let's go ahead and do this. Change the color. Use our eyedropper, get the same orange. Okay. Rounded corners. Definitely rounded corners. I love rounded corners for this. We're going to round all of the corners. Stroke end caps are rounded. Stroke width, we can make this a bit smaller. A little thinner. Let's give it about 5 because I like even numbers. Stroke length, we can make these a little bit shorter. Then we're going to go width. We want this pretty small here. So to show you what I'm doing, I'm just going to encapsulate these screws right in there. So we can go here, we're going to take the height down. Make a nice little box. Alright there, let's bring this in just a little bit more. Okay, I like that. So what this is going to do is just going to go bloop, and we're actually going to have this come in at the same time as our text. So our text is going to come up, and that's going to bloop. So there's our fighter jet screws. Now, all we have to do is take this out longer, move the out to, boo-foo for now, and then that's just going to stay right there as he continues on his thing. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and save this and stop here because this is about as far as what I know he wanted. So let's look and see what we've got here. So we start off with our logo sting, Toltec. That's a little weird. Is that? There we go. No, it should be centered, right? There we go. Toltec. We got a cool transition in. This part probably needs to be sped up. Maybe not. He's just taking a MacBook out, although it does take a good 15 seconds. Flips it over, and then we start getting to the fun stuff. Screws. I know he's going to want to say what kind of bit he's using here, but we'll get to that when he actually tells me. But screws go away. So this does a couple things. It highlights what he's doing. It goes away as he's done, so you know what pieces he's already done, where he's at. Okay, now we're here. The F-15 fighter jet screw callout goes out. This comes in. Now these, because there's so many different screws, we're actually going to be using this set a lot. So this is something I actually might just pre-compose because I know we're going to call this screw comp 1. I'm very original with my names because now I can take this and I can copy and paste it, and I've got screw comp 2, which I can do this exact same thing for, drag it over, and when he's got the next set of screws, I'll be able to put them down here, and then all I have to do is double click in here, and then we put, so they're not fighter jet screws there anymore, they're FBI security screws, right? So now I've got fighter jet screws, I've got FBI security screws. These colors are not real visible right here. I'll probably end up changing those. But you get the idea. So now I can just duplicate that composition and change it as I need as we go down. So the more things that are going to be reusable, definitely reuse. Make your timeline, your workflow go a lot faster. Now if you need to change your time, you can see the ins and the outs disappeared here, but we've still got them here. We've still got them inside the composition, so if we need to adjust anything, we can always adjust all of that right in there. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and save that. Give it one more playthrough. Our logo sting. Might need some more words there. We'll see what he wants. Opens this bad boy up. Alright, so we got a screen. We're going to replace the screen. Here's the screen. Boy, that's an ugly screen. I think he actually has some audio that goes on this too, but I haven't listened to any of it yet. Here's all my screws. I'm going to put in a certain bit that goes to these screws. Look, this is what kind of screw it is. And as I finish, the circle goes away. And like I said, we can move the circles with every time the laptop moves, but we're going for simplicity here. There we go. Now he's talking about something about lifting it up. So that goes away. We've got our, I'm going to be like a little table of contents here. There's a couple things you can do to make this a little bit more visible. If you really, really like the orange, we can draw a shape layer over this and obviously not fill it with red, but maybe white. And then we can put that underneath the screw comp layers, and then we can take the opacity down to like hardly anything. Maybe something like around there. Maybe we'll give it like an overlay kind of feel. And yeah, I still don't like that. There's a couple things we can do to clean up that. We keep this as a table of contents type of thing. Just some ideas. Anyway, so let's go ahead and end there. If you have questions, comments, or concerns about anything that I've shown you today, or if you have some suggestions of your own, the great thing about art is it's a never-ending learning process. So always happy to hear hints from people, hints and tips and tricks, and I will try to do the same in my videos. This series will continue when I get this client on the line and talk to him about more about what he wants. So stay tuned, subscribe, and like. Be sure to hit that notification button so you can know when we put up our new videos. Thanks everybody. Take care.